Hi guys, welcome to the video. Today we are talking about my February TBR, which I probably will not be able to finish by the end of February, but it is a very big TBR for me personally. Not only that, it does contain a few bigger books, so we'll see how this goes. I am first going to talk about the books that are on my phone that I read as an e-reader book. I'm also going to drink some iced tea in the meantime. So the first book is on my TBR, which is actually a book that I have already started. So this will probably be finished by February, so by the end of February. So it is City of Ruin by Carissa Weeks. It is a Witchwalker 2 book. So I'm not going to talk too much about this, but basically the first book is about this girl who can hear but cannot speak, so she does sign language, and she does have this magical ability, and she was expected to be taken by witchwalkers, which didn't really happen. And on the night that she was taken, a lot of things went down, and I'm not going to spoil too much about this because I just don't want to ruin this for anybody, but it was such a good book. So I want to read the second one. I'm only I think about 10% in, so not that far, but yeah, it really is worth to read. The next one is the Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole, which is the God and Monsters first book. I can do the synopsis of this one because obviously this is the first book and not the second one, so I won't spoil anything. World Ender meets Ender of Worlds. 1,000 years ago, Diana gave up her life in the desert of Eroria to save her dying sister. She called upon anyone who would listen, not expecting a monster far worse than any nightmare to answer. Now she does what Caden asks, even if that means securing an ancient relic from the very creatures that hunt her. A king thought long dead and forgotten. In the old world his name was Samkiel. In the new world it's Liam, but one title remains true throughout time. He is the World Ender, a myth to his enemies, a savior and king to those loyal to him. After the God's War, he locked himself away, hiding from He denied his crown and responsibilities, leaving the very ones who needed him most to deal with the fallout of the death of their homeworld. I have to sneeze. I just felt it coming up so bad. Now an attack on those he holds dear sends him back to the one realm he never wished to visit again, and into the sights of an enemy he thought imprisoned eons ago. Now enemies older than time must put aside their differences and work together in hopes of saving both their world and every realm in between. This is also one that I'm currently reading already. I'm about, I would say, 60% into this book. So far I am a little bit bored, to be honest, and I thought about DNFing this book, but I am going to stick with it. I do want to finish this because I did see quite a few good reviews on this, so we'll see how this is going to go. And then the next book I want to read is a book by Grace Draven, I think it's pronounced. I have read a book about her before and I did like her writing style. So the book is called Phoenix Unbound and it's one of a trilogy, but they are standalone stories, so you can read them separately. Every year, each village is required to send a young woman to the Empire's capital, her fate to be burned alive for the entertainment of the masses. For the last 5 years, one small village's tide has been the same woman. Ghislaine's sacrifice protects all the other young women of her village, and her secret to staying alive lies with the magic only she possesses. But this year is different. Azarion, the Empire's most famous gladiator, has somehow seen through her illusion and is set on blackmailing Ghislaine into using her abilities to help him escape his life of slavery. And unknown to Ghislaine, he wants to reclaim the birthright of his clan. To protect her family and village, she will risk everything to return to the Empire and burn once more. I have high hopes for this. I have not started this, but it sounded like a book that I would definitely read and like, so I'm excited about this. This is also more of an adult romance, so there is probably going to be some spice in there, and I love me some spice if it's not overly done. So I'm excited for this. Let's keep it at that. Now, for the next books, these are actually an entire pile of books that I will probably not finish by the end of February, but we'll see. I have 2 that I have already started, so there are 4 books in total that I have actually already started, so we'll see. First one is The Traitor Queen, which I only have to go for about 100 pages left, so I actually am hoping to finish this probably one of the first days of February, but yeah, I am counting this as a February read either way. So this is the second book in the Bridge Kingdom series. I love the first book. This one is actually taking me quite a long time because I started this in the beginning of February, and as you can see, it's not that big of a book. I just cannot keep my mind to it for some strange reason, so we'll see how it ends. So far, this is only like 3.5 stars, which is a star less than the Bridge Kingdom because that was a 4.5 star for me. This is so far 3.5, so we'll see how it ends. I generally don't like second books in a series, but we'll see. The next one is one that I actually just started, and I only am on chapter 4, and that is The Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzin. I love the cover. I am actually pretty intrigued with what I've read so far. So it is quite a big book. I mean, in the sense that it is actually a long book compared to this one. And this has also quite a few pages. So let's see how many pages there are in there. It does contain more pages than I thought. It's 470 pages, so it is quite a big book. I do want to read this later today, so yeah, we'll see how this is going to go. So Taliesin was left on the steps of an orphanage as a baby with deadly light magic as her only inheritance. All she has ever known is the Hurricane Wars. As her people fight against the tyranny of the Night Empire, and she struggles to hide the gift that ignited the conflict. Alaric of House Osinast, master of the Shadowforge Legion and heir to the Empire, has been honed into a weapon with one goal: distinguish all threats with his armies and his storm ships, and his shadow magic. But when a new horror emerges, one that promises even more devastation, only Taliesin and Alaric can stop it. Will these mortal foes be able to come together, or will they end up destroying each other and their world? So this was pretty hyped up last year, so I'm excited to see if it's worth the hype. I have read quite a few mixed reviews on this. Some people actually thought it was amazing, others were not that impressed, so we'll see what my opinion will be. Up next is actually a reread that I am hoping I will finish by the end of February. I don't think I will, but still. And that is House of Earth and Blood. It's the first book in the Crescent City series. So most people know about the series. I want to reread this because for the simple reason that the third book is coming out this month. It's January now. And I also still have to read the second book, so I want to reread this one, go to the second one, and then start the third one if I can put myself to it, because the second one I just couldn't get into it, so we'll see if I can finish that book. But first I need to read this one again because I don't really remember a lot. So one of the books I am most looking forward to read is actually Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillick. This is the second book in the series. It's a duology, I believe. I think this is the second and last book. Let me pull out the stick sticker. I hate stickers on books. So the first one is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillick. It's about this girl who lives in this kingdom that has a sickness going on when you walk into the fog. She kind of gets taken by the fog, so she gets the sickness, and then she touches one of the magic cards. And with the magic cards, she kind of takes over the magic that is in the card, and she kind of gets this monster that's talking in her head. And each time she asks this monster for a favor, he slowly takes over. So yeah, the ending of this book was actually really, really good. I was obsessed with this book. I am excited about the next one. They say this is more of a dark fantasy. I agree in the sense that the setting of this place kind of gives me the creeps, but it's still not like a horror book or something. So they are looking for the 12 Providence cards. Providence cards? Yes. So they only have to find one more card, and that's the Alder card, the Twin Alders card. But it's not that easy, obviously, because people keep those cards close to them. And the one who could see the cards was Elspeth, the main character, who has a monster stuck in her head called the Nightmare from the Nightmare cards, I believe. So I'm excited to see whether they will find the card in the next book, because they think that if they find 12 cards, the fog that gives the sickness is going to disappear. So we'll see if that's the truth, or is there going to be another plot twist going on. I don't think so, because obviously this is the last book in the series, so we'll see. I really am excited about this one. Next up we have Powerless by Laura Roberts, because this has been hyped up on TikTok, Instagram, and pretty much every place you can imagine. And I have found yet another bookmark. So Powerless is by Laura Roberts. It's about only the extraordinary belong in the kingdom of Ilia. The elites have possessed powers for decades, gifted to them by the plague, while those born ordinary are just dead, banished from the kingdom of Ilia and shunned from society. No one knows this better than Payden Gray, an ordinary posing as a psychic to blend in with the elites. When she unsuspectingly saves one of Ilia's princes, Kai Azer, she's thrown into the Purging Trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elite's powers. If the trials and the opponents within then don't kill her, the prince she's fighting feelings for will, if he discovers what Payden is, completely ordinary. I am actually excited about this because I have heard so many great things about it, and it has been on my TBR for a while now, so I think that this month will be the month that I at least start this book. At least. Problem is, I have a boyfriend who wants to continue Supernatural, so... And last but not least is Song of Silver Flame Like Night, because I do believe that the second book of this is going to come out anytime soon, so... And that is this cover. I mean, it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. So, in the Fallen Kingdom, one girl carries the key to discovering the secret of her nation's past and unleashing the demons that sleep in its heart. Yeah. Once, Lan had a different name. She spends her days scavenging for remnants of the past, for anything that might help her understand the strange mark burned into her arm by her mother, and her last act before she died. No one can see the mysterious mark until the night Zen appears at the tea house and saves her life. Zen is a practitioner. I cannot pronounce the word, I hope I did. One of the fabled magicians of the Lost Kingdom, whose abilities were rumored to be drawn from the demons they communed with. Magic believed to be long lost. Magic to be hidden at all costs. Both Lan and Zan have secrets buried deep within. Fate connected them, but their destiny remains unwritten. Both hold the power to liberate their land, and both hold the power to destroy the world. This looks a little bit like Asian inspired with the cover, and I am obsessed with this. I mean, I think this is going to be a good one. I don't know yet. I have not heard too much about this book online. I have not read any reviews yet, so I am going to let myself be surprised by this one. But it sounds like something that I would love. I don't know if this is like really young fantasy, like young adult fantasy, or is this a bit more with, or does it contain a little bit more smut? I don't know. I don't think this has a lot of smut in it. I think a little bit of romance, but nothing too crazy. So yeah, we'll see whether or not this is going to be a good book for me. Those are basically all the books that I want to read. There are 9 in total, 4 that I have actually already started. So I'm curious to see whether or not these books will be for me, and whether or not I will be DNFing the Book of Azrael, because so far I'm not that impressed, to be honest. I don't understand the hype yet. Maybe it will come, maybe it won't. We'll see. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye guys!